Hello everyone and welcome back to Coil Life. Today we're going to be having a look at the Capstone RDA from Vandyvape and VAPEHAPPY. And it is a 24mm diameter RDA. Squonk, an unusual sort of a squonk system on this one, which is pretty cool. Dual coil or single coil. A really nice build deck, I have to say. It is one for those cloud lovers. So before I go into any more details, let's drop down and have an up close and personal tour around the Capstone RDA. Okay guys, so here we are with the Capstone RDA from Vandyvape, designed by VAPEHAPPY. Nice little packaging apart from this little warning sticker on here, but you can see how it comes in the box. Down here we have the colour. Now the option I chose was the stainless steel. You do have various different colours. You've got a QR code there and a scratch and check authenticity there. Vandyvape, you've got a little bit of information there. Vandyvape, and then on the back, Capstone RDA. So you've got this waterfall squonk action going on. Single screw, spring loaded capstone deck. And little bits in there. So if we open her up, have a look on the inside, we do get a couple of different things. First, before we get to the RDA, let's have a look at this. This is your little coil guide. So you can see the numbers there on the bottom. That's the millimeters of length of the legs of your coils. So you slot your coil in there, snip off under here, and that will be the depth or length of the legs in your coils. Quite a nice addition to the packaging, this little item. It will come in very handy indeed for a lot of people. The little sticker with this little triangle is pointing to the 7, and that's what they recommend for this RDA, is 7mm length of the legs of your coils. So we get the deck of the RDA, we'll pop that there. We get this top cap with this funky knurled kind of almost pyramid-esque bits going on around the outside. You've got dual airflow, although you can close that down. So if we close one side down, you can see how it closes the top down, so it shuts down the airflow a little bit. If we keep on turning that, it does shut that one down, but it leaves that one open, so you can run this in single coil mode if you do wish. And that top cap then will pop out just like so. So on the barrel you do have little notches here and here, which that lets you know that's the base of the barrel, and it locks into place on the build deck, which I'll show you in a moment. The inside of the top cap, it is domed. You do have the fins there for your AFC. And the top of the top cap, you can get your fingers on there and that will grip to allow you to control that airflow. So then the drip tip, as you see, is an 810 fitment. So if I get another 810 drip tip, one without the O-rings would help. Pop that in there. I can see you can put your 810 drip tips in, no problem at all. But they also do supply this one, which is a frosted PMMA with a wider bore. The bore on this one is more like your 510 bore. I have to say I have been using it with this one, and I do think I get a better flavour using this drip tip to this one. But that's just my opinion, and if you pop that on there, you see how that one looks. So it doesn't quite come out to the edges like that one, but I still do prefer it, and it does have sort of a, I don't know, like a bit of a knurled effect going on. It is surprisingly comfortable to use. So we also get a clear PMMA top cap, which is all one piece, and you do have the capstone going on the bottom there, and it's a non-adjustable airflow with this one, and being all one piece, there's no ability to put drip tips in the top, so you just vape it as it is, just like that. So then if we have a look at the build deck, we can see that we do have this sort of pyramid going on here. Your top cap then is held on by 2 O-rings. On the base we have the Capstone logo, designed by VAPEHAPPY, manufactured by Vandyvape. You do have like a version number, and then we have this O-ring on the base that will prevent any leaking when you're using it in squonking mode. As you can see, I do have the gold plated squonk pin in there, and as I said, with these little notches on the top cap, they do locate these little bits here either side. It means that when you lock that in place, your airflow is always going to be aimed at your coils. Then the post design on this one, if we unscrew this, it's a single screw like we've seen on the Og Vape on the Templar, for example. So if we unscrew that up, you can see then that your coils are going to go up down with the legs, and this little hole here, that's where your juice is going to come out when you're using it in squonking mode. And if I can zoom in, there is a little bit of texture going on those plates. I'll get that to focus a bit better. You can see under there is a bit of texture. That's to grip the legs of your coils when you pop them in. And this is all spring loaded, and you've got a nice deep juice well in there also. So then also in the box you do get some spares. Just zoom that out a little bit. So we pull that up. We do get a fused Clapton coil, NI80, should 6 wraps. Each one potentially is going to come out at 0.28 ohms. Recommended 40 to 50 watts. They're the coils themselves. We also get a little bag with a tri-tool, spare springs, spare seals, and a gold plated 510 pin, and a spare screw for the post. And then we also get our quality certificate and a user manual in various different languages. So let's have a look at putting some coils in this RDA. Okay, so here are the coils that I'm going to be putting in. As you can see, the legs are just randomly cut. So if we use our little tool that came in the box, put it in the 7mm, pop that down just like that, then all we need to do, hold it in place and just snip flush just like that, and they should be perfect to go in one side. Then I will just get the other one, pop that in the same way, come back here, that's it, hold that in place, get our snips again, and that's it, all we need to do. Simple. So we'll get our coil and our coiling rod, pop one in just like that, and then grab our other one, pop that one in just like that, and then we can just hold them together, grab our screwdriver and screw that down. I'll just tighten that up a little bit. Okay, so there we have our coils all positioned on the capstone. Now one thing I do have to mention is you've got to be very, very careful when positioning your coils that they're not out around the side of this. Normally you can put them out so as it's just in line with the base of the deck, but with the top cap of this one and the way that these fins are on the inside, they are quite thick. If you have that too far out, when you put your top cap on, you're going to be shorting out against this. That's what you need to be really careful of. So put your coils in as far in as they'll go, and then lift them up so that there's no fear if you shorten off the actual post itself or the top cap. So what we need to do is get these coils glowing nice and evenly. Get rid of any hot spots on there. That should just about do us. Okay guys, so there we go. I have it all wicked up, ready for some juice. So if we give it a bit of a squeeze, you can see the way the juice comes out of those holes at the top of the pyramid post, I suppose, if we call it that. And it just flows onto your coil. It's quite a good idea really, I think. Obviously if you squeeze too much you are going to leak everywhere. And then we will pop the top cap on, just open that airflow, make sure it's fully open. Pop our top cap on, and then we can go and have a little vape. Okay guys, so that was the quick up close and personal tour around the Capstone RDA. Now what do we think? It's not bad. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad. It's got a few quirks to it that I like. That build deck, the pyramid style, single screw, simple to build on. The fact in the packaging you get the two top caps, two drip tips, your tri tool, you get your little coil leg or the coil lead, measuring tool, whatever you want to call it. Very, very handy. I nearly just go and buy the RDA just to have that. One thing I do think, in my opinion, that lets this down is flavour. The flavour on it is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Especially with the drip tip that comes pre-installed, the little black one. I found I was struggling to get much flavour. It was very, very muted. Even if I closed down the airflow, had a more restricted draw, bumped up the wattage or bumped it down, whatever, it just wasn't working for me. At the moment the build that you saw me put in there is coming out at 0.13. I have the airflow wide open at 75 watts. Vapor production is good. The flavour at that wattage, with the airflow wide open, that drip tip, is good. Don't get me wrong. It's not the worst I've seen or tried, but it could be better, I think. As for the top cap with these knurl bits, it's one of those things. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. Looks wise, it looks funky. It looks cool. Some people might not like that. I don't know. It's just something that's a bit different. This drip tip, the way you've got this sort of, it's almost like a tire tread around it. It's surprisingly comfortable to vape with. Price point on these, as with all Vandyvape products that we've seen lately, they're coming in around about £25 to £35, depending on where you shop and where you look. Would I go and get another one of these? To be honest with you, I probably would, just for what you get in the packaging. There's plenty of different options, and let's just try this PMMA one. I'll just show you how it looks on there. If I can get this top cap off, it is quite tight. Those O-rings do hold the top cap on very, very well. So we pop this one on, it does lock into place just like that top cap. But there we go, you can see your coils in there. You can see when you give it a little squonk, you can see the juice coming out. And if we have a little bit of a vape, the flavour is good. I do like the vape out of this. The drip tip, or the whole top cap I suppose, it is comfortable, doesn't get hot. That's the reason I used this drip tip rather than the one that came pre-installed, because I found that the top cap actually did get very, very hot, and you are quite close to the top cap with that drip tip. And I just found that this one was more comfortable, as well as giving a better flavour and a more enjoyable vape. This little tool here, I think that's what sold me on it. That's what it's all about. Getting this little thing is just going to make life so much easier in the future. And of course your little tri tool, who doesn't love getting those tri tools, just like the little Christmas cracker blue screwdrivers that everyone has probably a ton of. But this Capstone RDA, would I recommend it? Yeah, I probably would, just because the ease of build, the price, and everything that comes in the kit. That's it. It's a great bargain RDA. But anyway, that's all I've got time for. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please do hit that subscribe button below, and we'll catch you again soon.